Hi, I'm Glenn Simpson, and I've collected comics for over 40 years, and I'm showing off my collection one box at a time. Today we're looking at box number 77. We're going to pick up with hardware from the Milestone series, and then we're going to work our way. We're going to get into Harley Quinn and find our way into Hawk and Dove. I hope you'll enjoy this video. I hope that you will like and comment and subscribe. Those are really great things that help the channel a lot. And if there's anything inside any of these packs that you'd like to see, just let me know and we'll make that happen. But in the meantime, let's get going with box 77. All right, so we are getting into this box, and we're going to start with hardware. And I cheated a little when I decided to get a full run of hardware. I didn't necessarily want to actually shell out for an entire run of hardware, so when I found that there were some trades, I went ahead and got that. I think there's only one for hardware, but this one covers issues like 1 through 8 or something like that, and which isn't written on here, but I do think I pick up with yeah, I think so. So that is that trade paperback. As I've mentioned in other videos, I ran out of bookshelf space, so some of them got stuck in here. If they were something that was just entirely within, the trade paperback was just from one series. Issue 9, hardware gets a kind of a female version called Technique there, which they have to fight at first, as you do. Issue 11 with Walt Simonson cover on there. Cool. Issue 16. Alright, is that making sure I didn't skip anything, or didn't intentionally skip anything. I think I just don't have them yet. Issue 16 right there. Hardware right there through 20. Yeah, it's hard to make out the net numbers. Issue 20 of hardware there. So some of these are still in my want list. 21. Go. Of course, this is hardware. He's sort of the Iron Man of the Milestone universe. Issue 25. There we go. Jump to issue 30. This is the guy who was the mentor of the guy that became hardware. We thought he was dead, but he wasn't. Or maybe he hadn't died yet. But either way, he doesn't really die. Issue 30 through 37. Right there. Let's see. Then we jump to 45. There we go. And 46. Yeah, well, that's, yeah, you see, they're back from the grave, so yeah, we thought he was dead for a while. I've actually been focusing on getting some of the later issues, that is the last issue that I have, but I am focusing on getting some of the later issues just because they're a little pricier, the print runs were lower, that kind of thing, so looking for them when I can find them in the kind of condition where I can afford them. But we had a resurgence of Milestone over at DC not long ago, and so one of those is Hardware Season 1, which ran for 6 issues. There we go. I think there's some other series that he's in. All right, buckle up. So I've got a couple of trades of the very first Harley Quinn series. I did not really buy into her until the second time around, as it were, and with the New 52, because I was getting all the New 52 titles basically, so she got a 0 issue in the New 52. I don't think, no, yeah, her title didn't start with, also, it didn't start with, it wasn't one of the 52 number ones that came out when it did, when it started off. Because, yeah, this is January 2014 instead of the November 2011. So, this was part of the sort of the second wave of New 52 books. And that's her issue 0. Got issue 1. Now the thing about Harley Quinn in the DC series is basically, if Jimmy Palmiotti is involved, then it's probably not what you would call canon to the rest of the universe. This whole setup where she's living on Long Island and she's you know, got a certain, you know, friends and things like that. That was really only in this series. And meanwhile, while this is going on, over in Suicide Squad, she's like still in prison and going on missions and stuff like that. And that's really the sort of the canon Harley Quinn. But this was all kind of a parallel universe Harley Quinn, having her crazy adventures. Even when sometimes things kind of happened over here that looked a little bit like things that were going on in the other series. But anyway, issue 1 through issue 4. There. Issue 5. Of course, a lot of this is what fed into the Harley Quinn cartoon on HBO Max. Cyborgman, issue 5, issue 8, right there. Issue 9, it's a good cover. That would be issue 16. This is when all of the DC books were doing movie poster covers. And so this is a takeoff of Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock movie poster. Issue 17. Harley and all her friends. There. Issue 24. There. Issue 25. And issue 30 right there, which is the last issue of that series. And I don't think it was that it wasn't selling well. They just, we're about to get into Rebirth, and they just needed to restart all the series basically. So this is the infamous Rub and Smell annual that is supposedly smells like pot. My copy, I don't get that. I'm not smelling it, but I don't have a great sense of smell, so it's probably there, and I'm just not picking up on it. But anyway, issue 1, annual 1. So then we get into Rebirth, and it's still Connor and Palmiotti and Harden. I mean, they didn't change anything. They just started back at issue, restarted the numbering just so that to get in on all of the Rebirth festivities. Issue 1 through issue 8, a lot of cyborg old person nudity, almost nudity. Issue 9 there. Issue 12. So they at some point introduced this character, Red Tool, who uses hammers and screwdrivers and things like that, and he's a crazy mercenary, and he is nothing like Deadpool, of course. That's I don't know how anybody would possibly make that connection, but he is of course in love with Harley, and the Joker's fighting him over that. And it continues into issue 13. There. Joker trying to rekindle that fire. By the time we get to the issue 20, he fails to do so. There. Issue 21. Another beauty shot. Issue 28. Harley running for mayor of New York, which is kind of timely at as of time of recording. Issue 29. Issue 34. So, okay. So somewhere around there, well, I bought a few more issues, and then I decided I was tired of Harley Quinn, so I quit buying it. And as soon as I quit buying it, they introduced the old lady Harley character. So then when I decided to just pick up the back issues, you know, hopefully getting them in dollar boxes and whatnot, I was going to have to pay out the wazoo for you know, that one issue. So I'm like, so I put the issues that I did have out of 35 through 42 into my trade-in box, and just went ahead and got this trade-in that includes that issue. So I you know, I'll come out cheaper in the end. But that's just why I never quit buying a series. Always keep buying it forever, because as soon as you quit, either the series will get canceled in like 3 or 4 issues, or there'll be some massive key and you won't be able to get it again later. So just keep buying. That's probably terrible financial advice. But anyway, issue 43 through 46. Harley gets a hammer and becomes a female Fury. Not in that order, the other way around. Issue 47. There. Issue 52. I'm expecting a FedEx package with some comics in it. So if the dog loses his mind, that'll be good news. 52. Issue 53, because that'll mean somebody has just stopped by, because he loves to bark at the FedEx guy. 53. 56. the cat's out. There. '57 Batman appearance. There's 60. It's worth noting, I think, sort of lost track, but at whatever point that Palmiotti stopped writing, then in theory we could actually be dealing with canon stuff, for as much as it matters. It's Harley Quinn, but because I do think she served her time and got let out of prison as well, so, and I don't think she's doing the whole Coney Island thing anymore at this point, so like I say, just look for the, if you're worried about that sort of thing, you want to wait for when Palmiotti leaves the book. 61 Gilliam March doing his usual sexy thing. Gilliam. 64. There. 65. There. 72. Booster Gold hanging out. 73. Through 75. That is the end of what would be the Rebirth series. So then it starts again with number 1 in Infinite Frontier. We've got Riley Rossmo. What can I say about Riley Rossmo? I'm just, bless their heart. I'm not sure. I don't even know if they're a man or a woman, but just not sure how I feel about that. But issue 1 through 4, I guess I could say that they're fairly good for this series, except maybe for the fact that Harley's star is beginning to shine a little less than it did before, maybe, and so maybe she needs a bigger name. Didn't need to lose that sexy cover look. I don't know. Man, your mileage may vary. Issue 4, Solomon Grundy. I haven't gotten a chance to do that in a while, because that's how he used to sound on the old Super Friends cartoon. Solomon Grundy gonna get Harley Quinn. I just like it because that's my natural accent, really. 5. Ooh. So, Professor Hugo Strange, psychiatrist. Harley Quinn, psychiatrist. Psychiatrist versus psychiatrist. Issue 5. Issue 8. Kind of a tie-in to the whole Fear State arc that was going through the Bat books. Issue 9. Right there. Issue 12. With some kind of weird Justice League. Issue 13. There. Through issue 20. That's pretty good. Offhand, I don't recognize the name of the artist, but I dig that. 20. Some more of that. Issue 21. Back with the Suicide Squad. Bronze Tiger. 4. There. I'm getting the best of Mr. Zaz. Issue 25. Is that David Nakayama? Does he do DC? Just can't find the... I'm sure if I put you on hold and spent more time looking at it, I could figure it out. But, or opened it up. Imagine that. But anyway. Oh, wait. Jeremy. Sorry. Oh, John Boy Myers. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Issue 25. And then 28. We get, it's not Honey Boo. Sweeney Boo. 28. We've got some Zatanna action. 32. There. 33. Harley was on some kind of interdimensional, multiversal jaunt. We've met something, you know, like Bunny Quinn or something like that. Who killed Bunny Quinn? 3. Issue 40. There. 41, teaming up with Jason Todd, a parody of his early issue. 48, we'll play on Professor Pig right there. And 49, going up against Amygdala, Batman villain. And 52, which is where we catch up with the present day. Right there. Alright, and that has had some annuals. There's annual number 1, or well, 2021. And then through the 2024 annual. I remember like seeing the cover and thinking, I don't care so much for the art, but it's actually a pretty good story with Zatanna in there. So there you go. Alright, then we get into one-shots and miniseries and things like that. So Harley Quinn had her Looney Tunes crossover with Gossamer, who a lot of people don't know that's his name. I admit I didn't necessarily know that was his name, but this guy, you know, who's just hair and tennis shoes. And then Harley Quinn and her gang of Harleys. So again, in the Palmiotti-verse, she has this little cluster of friends that are also Harleys, and they try to do good things. That runs through issue 6. We have Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. We're kind of on again, off again, or at least I can't keep up with it. Probably because I don't read Poison Ivy. That's probably why, because I'm sure it all wouldn't make sense from that point of view. But I think they got time. I mean, I think they got leveraged everything they could out of them being in a relationship, and since they had separate books, kind of had them amicably go their separate ways. But then they come back together every once in a while. So issue 1 through issue 6, right there. It's an amicable breakup. Harley Quinn and Power Girl, another Palmiotti series. Good stuff. Brought back, brings back a classic Power Girl. This again didn't make any sense in terms of the normal New 52 continuity, but they plowed ahead anyway, and got the return of Vartox from the old Superman comics right there, who is a heroic character from the old late 70s Superman comics, who was a play on Sean Connery's character in the movie Zardoz. So look that up, because it's something to see, man. That's issue 6 of Harley Quinn and Power Girl. Alright, one-shots galore. Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad April Fool's Special, cover by Jim Lee. There. Harley Quinn. There's a name for this, and it's not written on the cover. I can't remember what the exact name of it is, but something like be careful what you ask for. That's, I think, what it is. Harley Quinn, be careful what you ask for. And it's a Loot Crate exclusive right there. The recent Harley Quinn, Fartacular, Silent but Deadly. So just like the other one smelled like pot, this one smells like farts. There you go, if that's what you're into. Back during the New 52, we had New Harley Quinn, New 52, Futures End. So Harley Quinn Futures End, I think, is really what we call it. With the hologram. A little Harley Quinn holiday special with the wiener dog here. Harley Quinn, Our World's at War. Mentioned this in previous episodes of Glenn Simpson's comics. A big crossover they did, Alien Invasion. And lots of characters got one-shots, including characters. I guess her first series was going on, and since I was getting all of the tie-ins, I did get the Harley Quinn tie-in to that. Harley Quinn Road Trip Special. Catwoman, Poison Ivy, getting the Gotham Sirens together. Quinn's Villain of the Year. Hanging out with all of the big villains from that year. We got her 30th anniversary special, 100 pager. There. Then we've got her 25th. Glenn, you may ask, why is her 25th not before her 30th? Because here in Glenn Simpson's comics, we spell out numbers, and 30 starts with TH, and 25th starts with TW. So that's why. There. Yeah. Harley Quinn Uncovered So basically taking variant covers and some main A covers and just reprinting them here for people who didn't get to see them elsewhere. And they actually took the original George Perez art from Crisis on Infinite Earths and just plugged Harley in there. So hopefully his estate got a little money from that. Harley Quinn Valentine's Day special. There. Then we have the other series, sort of the Harley Quinn team-up series. Harley's Little Black Book. Each issue she teamed up with a different other superhero. It's issue 1. In issue 6, she teams up with Lobo, the main man. There. And that completes Harley. So, then we have Haven, the Broken City. Kind of a Ariel Olivetti doing this story. This basically city crashes to Earth full of aliens, and what happens then, and the JLA is involved. There's a couple of one-shots over in the JLA series about this. Issue 1 through issue 9. I have to wonder if it's like, hey, I want to do this series. Well, okay, but if you're going to do it, you got to stick some the Justice League in it somewhere. We go to Havok and Wolverine Meltdown. So a fully painted series. John J. Muth and Kent Williams alternate, like doing different sections. They're both painting. They're not working on the same page at the same time or anything. They're alternating, and a team up of Havok and Wolverine right there. Big, thick, prestige format. Issue 1 through issue 4 there. Next we have Hawk and Dove. Hawk and Dove were characters that were created during the late 60s. And the idea was Hawk was very kind of brutal, ready to fight. And his brother Dove was very pacifistic. Dove winds up dying in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then here in this series, Hawk gets a new Dove, and this issue is actually the first appearance of Dawn Grainger, the second Dove. All right, that's issue 1, and then issue 2 is the first cover appearance of Dawn Grainger as Dove. There. This is, of course, a miniseries done by Rob Liefeld before he's ever done X-Force or any of that stuff. So he's just now getting into it. Very early Rob Liefeld stuff. Issue 3 through issue 5. That's the end of that miniseries. Then they got their own ongoing series. Rob Liefeld was not invited back. Can't imagine why. Greg Guler came on to do artwork. And so we have them, Hawk and Dove here. Issue 4 by the Untouchables. Get it? Because they're intangible, but they dress like the Untouchables, the 1920s criminal kind of stuff. Anyway, fighting sudden death. And issue 8. Dove doing her thing. Of course, Hawk and Dove appeared in the Titans show that the last time we would have found it would have been on HBO Max. Alan Ritchson and what's her name? I can't remember her name, the actress, but she was very pretty on that show, portraying Hawk and Dove. Issue 9. This cover is an homage to a Brave and the Bold, I believe, cover. I can't remember but that is the first appearance of Copperhead. And I think it's Batman and Wonder Woman, or Batman and Batgirl. And so they're, Hawk and Dove are taking the places of those people in this version. Issue 9, issue 12, hooking up with the new Titans. Hawk and Dove had been, the originals had been members of the Teen Titans for a while, although they kind of joined right about the time that the original Titans decided to chuck their costumes and just have adventures as civilians, which was kind of a weird move that they went through back then. But they are, of course, very, very Titans affiliated still. Issue 13. There. Issue 20. Christmas issue. Got some Kevin Maguire action going here. From the Justice League Wahaha series. Let's see, this is around 1991, so I think he just had a little extra time to do covers. Issue 21, fighting the new female Furies that really didn't last very long. We would eventually go back to the old female Furies. 21 and 28. So there was a lot going on here, but one of the things that happened around this time, so this issue takes part in the War of the Gods series, that was a Wonder Woman focused series where basically different pantheons are causing problems, and Wonder Woman has to recruit all the superheroes to deal with it, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they also have well, hang on, let me show that in a second. Let's finish this. So 28, that's the last issue. So they had a couple of annuals, the long-awaited return of Titans West. So just a couple of points of interest. So yes, later on, when there was a point when the Teen Titans, before the new Teen Titans, before Cyborg and Starfire and Raven, there was a second Teen Titans series, and one of the things that was established there was that there was a Teen Titans West. So you had Robin and Wonder Girl and Kid Flash and all that on the East Coast, and then on the West Coast you had the some former Titans put together a group. One of them was the Batgirl with the dash in there, like Spider-Man, who had been around in the 50s. Okay, so here we are. We're now post-crisis, and they kind of wanted to ditch some of the goofy 1950s stuff. And I guess part of it was they wanted Barbara Gordon to be the first Batgirl, So since Dick Grayson had become a character called Nightwing, they just made Batgirl into Flamebird, which is okay. So Nightwing and Flamebird go together because they are the heroes of Kandor, the bottle city of Kryptonians that resides in Superman's Fortress of Solitude that Brainiac shrunk down. So anyway, this is so in a Secret Origins annual, they had retroactively established that she had been Flamebird instead of Batgirl. And here we have some of them kind of regrouping, along with Hawk and Dove, who were also part of that West Coast, although not this Dove, of course, but had also been a part of that West Coast version of the team. That's Annual 1. Okay, so Annual 2 is the Armageddon 2001. So this guy lives in the future, and when he was a kid, some superhero saved his life, but he doesn't remember who it was for some reason. But he knows that superhero will go on to become a bad guy called Monarch, and Monarch will take over the world, do bad things, whatever. And so the guy, as an adult, gets the ability to travel through time, and so he comes back to the present to figure out which superhero it is that's going to turn bad. And so he goes from annual to annual, touching the superhero and seeing their future, or a possible future. It's got to be a possible future because Batman has like 3 or 4 different ones. So the trick is, originally Captain Atom was going to become Monarch, and as such, here in this one, Hawk and Dove both get ruled out as becoming Monarch. But then word got out that Captain Atom was going to become Monarch, so then they said, well, let's just change it, just at the last minute. And so this annual depicts, Hawk not becoming Monarch, but that's who ends up becoming Monarch, who then becomes Parallax. No, that's Hal Jordan's thing. He changes names a couple of times, and then he gets kind of split off in time, so we could have a good Hank, still have a good Hank Hall and a bad one. Something. No, that's Captain Atom. So Captain Atom becomes Monarch. It's all a big twist, and so don't worry about it. But so that's the notorious bit about that. But anyway, that is all of this edition of Hawk and Dove, and all for this box. Okay, so that was box 77. Next time we'll do box 78. We will do a little more Hawk and Dove. We'll get into Hawkeye and Hawkman and Hawkgirl, and eventually make our way into Hawk World. So it is an all Hawk box next time, and I hope that you'll enjoy that. Thank you so much for being here for this one, and I hope you have a great day.